Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It might even be good night as well. But thank you for joining me today for this live in our series of bi-weekly lives. And today the subject is product knowledge. Oh, you're thinking, product knowledge, how boring, it's going to put me to sleep. Well, I'm going to try and liven it up a little bit and give you a few little snippets and extra little bonuses for using the product to take away that, not only that fear element that hairdressers have when using products they're not sure about, because also in stuck in salons, we all used to use our favorite 3 to 5 products. And as you can see in Unite, we have a plethora of products. I like that word. I found that in the dictionary, obviously, this morning, plethora. So I'm going to use that. A plethora of products we have today to go through. So without further ado, I'm going to start with our what I call our hero line, where we all started many years ago with Unite, and our 7 seconds range. 7 seconds is a moisturizing, reparative range that is great on all hair types. And I must stress that, on great on all hair types, whether it's natural hair, colored hair, textured hair, whatever, you can use it on everyone. We start just looking at the shampoo and conditioner, and this has the characteristics that is in all the shampoos in the line, bar one, which I'll go into later. And the main factor of those is they don't have any parabens, sodium chloride and sulfate free as well. Parabens being the large, heavy, waxy substance that weighs things down. 7 seconds is a weightless product range. Very much like the rest of Unite, it always looks like hair, but it's designed to be weightless. And they're the main constituents of the shampoo and conditioner. So remember, great on all hair types, really good I find on colored hair as well, because it's exceptionally moisturizing. Which leads us into the most well-known product in the range, probably, everyone's go-to be used on every hair type, 7 seconds Detangler. So what is this? It's a leave-in conditioner and detangler. Young mums with young daughters, this should be in your hands continuously. We all know if we've had a young daughter in our lives, they hate having their hair brushed in the mornings. This is going to be your lifesaver. But to be used on all hair types, it's moisture rich, also reparative, and strengthens the hair as well. Application wise, you can be quite generous with this, but it's a dusting. You won't see that on the white screen, but as I'm squeezing it out, you see how fine that spray is. It's a dusting over from roots to ends. Comb it all the way through, you're good to go. 7 seconds, because generally it takes 7 seconds to fall in love with something. You will fall in love with that in further than 7 seconds, especially when your daughter stops crying that you're pulling her hair. Then we look at 7 seconds blowout cream. What is 7 seconds blowout cream? This, by chance, is an absolutely great dehumectant for when blow drying hair. Adds a small amount of body to the hair, but also gives the hair what I call like a brushed cotton feel. So if you've got like a silky texture in the hair, you put some of this in there, it's got like a slightly, not rougher, but it just gives a tiny bit more grip, especially when you're putting the brush in. So it's a great blowout cream. It makes your blowout last longer than normal because of that dehumectant. Very, very handy to have in there. Then we'll look at our 7 seconds glossing spray. Self-explanatory, it's a shine spray. How much do I use? I'll come over to my able assistant, Debbie the Dolly, this morning. She's an amazing assistant, never argues with anything I say and always agrees, and always turns up on time. Always a good thing for assistants. That is roughly the application I can use for glossing spray. I can spray it over the full head, but also in sections, because if I want to use an iron with it, it's perfectly fine for the iron to go over the top. It's dehumectant, anti-static, lightweight, but also it's not oily. A lot of glossing sprays are very, very oily, have a tendency to weigh the hair down, very lightweight, easy to use. As I said before, great to be used in conjunction with hot irons. It's got a heat protectant in there as well, so very, very important. Last in the 7 seconds, we have a mask. Now, this is a reparative moisturizing mask. The thickness of this, so I just zoom in slightly. I'm just going to dip my finger in just to show you the consistency of it. You can see they're heavyweight cream, designed to be used on pre-shampooed hair, distribute all the way through, roots to ends, leave on approximately 5 minutes, can be used in with heat. The main thing with this is when you take it out, dry your hand off. Okay, if someone's going to use this at home, tell your client, dry your hands off, even if they're using it in the shower, if they can, or take the actual part away from the water spray. You don't want water landing in this, because what it does, it loses the effectiveness of the product. It takes away some of the moisture from it because you're diluting it. You want this to be heavy and concentrated. So there's my tip for that. Put the top back on, distribute roots to ends, 5 to 10 minutes. You can leave it longer if you wish. Go and sit in the garden for a little while. Not a problem. It's not going to damage your hair. Go down to the beach this time of year as well. I think that's great to take to the beach and just apply that before you actually go in the sea and after you come out as well. Just comb it through, maybe slick your hair all back into like a wet pony, or even better, braid it. With that in, you're going to find a huge difference of when you actually shampoo your hair later in the day to remove all that salt, or if you've been in the pool, the chlorine as well. I'm then going to move on to our curl range. Boing, self-explanatory, boing, boing curl system. We have a shampoo and conditioner in here. Once again, exactly the same properties of our other shampoos, sulfate-free, sodium chloride-free, paraben-free, but designed specifically for controlling curly hair. So what you're doing with that is you're heavily moisturizing the hair, you're closing the cuticle because you're adding moisture to it, and then you're starting to put in curl retention, which is really, really important for curly hair. And then we have our boing curl leave-in. Why did we bring out a curl leave-in when we've already got the 7 seconds? Because curly hair needs it, okay? If you're trying to explain that to a client, they do not have the luxury of running their hands from the root base all the way through the hair, okay? So the moisture generally stays on the root base. So consequently, when you're using the Boing shampoo and conditioner, curly hair always needs a more of a vigorous shampoo at the scalp to remove the dead skin cells, etc. But you can then just let the shampoo just rinse through the rest of the hair. You never want to be rubbing the hair vigorously with shampoos in there. All you're doing then is you're roughing up hair cuticle, and you always want to keep the cuticle smooth. So curly hair, especially vigorous shampoo in the root base, helps remove product buildup and the oil that stays on the scalp. Takes us back into the leave-in. This is what we like to say is like 7 seconds on steroids. The actual consistency of it, you'll notice, is thicker and richer. Is it just good for just curly hair? No, I think it's really great on thick and coarse hair as well. Both of them will work well when I want to use it as a cutting lotion, depending on hair types as well. Pretty much more, weightless like the actual 7 seconds, but it is richer. Then we have 2 products in the range. I'm going to put these side by side. We have a Boing Defining Cream and we have a Boing Moisture Curl Cream. Defined not only by the color, but in what they do as well. The Boing Defining Cream is of a purple nature. Don't confuse that with our blonder range. It's just a very, very soft lilac, just to show you what this is. And that's got more hold properties in it. And by its nature, as I say, it defines the hair and it's got quite a nice strong hold. Boing Moisture Curl Cream, in comparison, is white. And when you put this out of the container, I'm going to do this next to my jacket so you can see this. You can see, look, how thick that is. It stands up on its own. But once I apply that into my finger, this is so moisture rich, it dissipates so easily. All I do is just push that in my hands and it just turns into almost like a water-like substance. So don't be frightened when you see this and you think, oh my God, it's so thick. I use copious amounts of this. Another great word from the dictionary there, I've been on it today. Copious amounts of this on curly hair, especially on mid-lengths and ends. It sucks it up, it's moisture rich. Now, the beauty of these, they're completely intermixable. We do a nice chart that shows you the comparisons of what type of curl or coil in your hair, and then how much you're going to use in, say, like 1/3 of defined, 2/3 of moisture, etc. So really intermixable, great products for curly hair. Answers a lot of questions as far as styling curly hair goes. There's a few little bonus ones in the rest of the product range I'm going to go into that will help you with that, but they really do cover a lot of bases. It's early in the morning here in California, so I do have my obligatory English cup of tea with me just to keep my voice going. Otherwise, I'm drying out under the studio lights. Our sound technician and lights, they do like to turn these up to the max and dry me out unbelievably. They are laughing backstage at me as well, having a cup of tea, but you know, I'm keeping it real, people, keeping it real. Then we move on to styling. Now, as you'll notice, as I'm going through the range, everything is color coded. Okay, boing, or beautiful orange, tangerine color. 7 seconds blowouts, more like a sky blue, all the 7 seconds. And then we have our styling range. This traditionally, black lettering. So the black lettering, everything in here is designed to go in wet hair, wet, damp hair. So post shampoo, from the backwash, out of the shower, wherever you might be, caught in the rain, out of the sea. It's designed generally to be blow dried into the hair as well, with some sort of heat application. We start with expander volume. This is a root energizer. It's got a tiny little cap on there, designed specifically to spray your product in the root base. I'm going to show you a little quick application of this. Can you use this roots to ends? Yes, absolutely, but it's designed as a root volumizer. Give the can a really good shake, and you apply that a couple of inches away from the head, like so, and then all I do is put that in, and then I just rub that into the root base. There's a few other interesting techniques of using this, but you'll find those out if you come along to my Runway Ready class in September in New York, when we're back at Fashion Week. Learn all about the secrets behind Expander Root Energizer. We have a wonderful mousse in the range called Elevate Mousse. So I went straight into this because I wanted to show you that the Root Energizer, as I said before, it's a volumizing agent. It's not really a mousse. This mousse, in comparison, has got argan oil in there. So it's very rich, very, very creamy. You use a huge amount of this, if I so need to, without ever worrying it's going to go crunchy on the hair like old-fashioned mousses, etc. It's almost like a whipped cream consistency, and you can see how easily that just moves around, dissipates in my hands as well. It's got a beautiful fragrance to that. Application-wise, roots to ends, I scrunch that in, never a problem. The argan oil on that makes it extremely rich, controlling mousse, great for huge, big blowouts, but also has a huge amount of other uses. One of those little bonuses I told you about works beautifully in with the boying range as well. So curly hair that lacks a bit of support. Used to have a couple of dancers I used to work with in London, used to drink this stuff up, who had really coily hair. Used to love it purely because it doesn't have that crunchy feel to it. Nice little bonus for that one. Then we have Laser Straight. Laser Straight is a smoothing fluid. Okay, do not confuse this with that early 90s poker straight hair. Application of this, just tip the bottle up, and you can see quite a nice fluid. I'm probably going to use like a quarter size on an average head of hair. Smells cookie dough. So anyone who's got a bit of a sweet tooth, don't start trying to lick it. You won't maybe like the taste of it, but it'll make your hair really, really smooth. Makes it, say, Laser Straight, makes it smooth and straight, does not destroy volume. That's the one thing we want to really reiterate about that. Does not take away the volume in the hair. It's to control that cuticle, smooth it down, and create smoothness. That's Laser Straight. Then we have Blow and Set Lotion, self-explanatory. Blow and Set Lotion is that setting lotion for that big Victoria's Secret blowout. It's got a really great high shine content in there. Once again, with a lot of the styling products, you've got the anti-humectant in there. You've got the heat protection, and also we want to show you, or I want to show you how you'd apply that. So on damp hair, I could run this all the way through and just drizzle it. But I also like to sort of come back. There's another way of doing it. You just open the cap, what I call like half. So you open it fully and you just tap it back a little bit. And then you can just tap it into the root base as well. Okay, some of that will come out. So you've got two slightly different ways of applying it, but it's a very, very loose fluid. It's got a very, what I call like a nice hold to it, but when you're blow drying it, it's extremely soft. So ones where you want to either like blow dry it in, put a Velcro roller in the hair, or leave the brush in there to cool down, give you a beautiful bouncy blow dry. It's got a lot of uses when I've intermixed this in and layer it in on other hairstyles as well, if I want to up that shine factor when I'm blow drying. Really, really useful. And the final one in here is Creamy Paste, very much a misunderstood product in the range as far as styling products are concerned. people always get this, especially if you're new to Unite, you'll think this is a styling cream or a styling wax of some kind. It isn't. It's a thickening paste. Okay, application-wise, I'm going to scrape some out with my nail to put on the head. This is what I call like putting an elastoplast on the hair, where you have breakages, etc. They sort of like fill those pieces in, but it's a great one for thickening hair up. A little bonus for this is, say, if you have a large male clientele, he's got fine hair, put some of this in, and then you've got to blow dry it. Remember, black lettering is heat activated. You've got to blow dry this in. It's made of a fine kaolin china clay, but there's like a semi-matte feel to it. All right, there's hardly any tack in there whatsoever. My hands come apart really quickly. So don't confuse this as a hair wax. It is designed to be blow dried into the hair. Really, really good. Misunderstood product. It's great on hair that's got a tendency to look really fine on the ends, on those piecey bits. Put some of that on, blow dried in, use a heat tool, no problem. But fine hair, you want to blow dry, you get what I call like a really good grip on the brush. When you're putting that brush in there on the root base, you have a bit of creamy paste in there, it really does give you a little bonus and a lot of lift in there. Now I've touched on laser straight in those styling products, I'm going to jump back into a shampoo and conditioner quickly. We do a laser straight shampoo and conditioner for smooth, sleek hair. Same components of the other shampoos, etc., but it's designed if you have like coarse, uncontrollable hair, you want to smooth that cuticle down. Laser straight shampoo and conditioner is there for you. It's designed specifically to help you control the cuticle, smooth it down, but remember not to lose volume. Another quick slurp on the tea. I'm just racing ahead. Now I want to introduce a high-end product for you, shampoo and conditioner called U Luxury. Comes in these beautiful boxes with the foil logos on. These have real high-end ingredients in them, like Hawaiian white honey, macadamia nut, super rich, great on what I call hair that's just like needs moisture and repair, but also hair that is just have a tendency to explode a little bit. Has been known, we can use it on all hair types. Me personally, I like to use it on hair that's like mid to coarse. It's an extremely rich and so it's got a beautiful luxurious feel to it. The actual fragrances are really great and the boxes really add to it as well. And it's a beautiful thing to have on your retail area. And that is very much our high-end luxury. So, you know, U Luxury shampoo and conditioner. Behind that, we have a treatment range, the Unite Reunite. This is one of my favorites. In here, this has got the artichoke in there, which is and got plenty of antioxidants, reparative. So we've got shampoo, conditioner, and a treatment. I'll talk to you briefly about what they are. Have you got any questions flying in there, Mike?
Yeah, we do have a question. Would you suggest to use creamy paste on long hair?
Absolutely, you can do. Just depending on how you want to use it, what your hair type is like. So if you're using it on long hair, if you've got breakages more like mid-lengths and ends, you feel like you've got split ends there, etc., it can certainly help to like calm those down. But for me personally, if you've got long hair and it's fine, if you're putting it near your root base as well, just finger dry that into your root base, you'll find it will plump it up. Absolutely. So Reunite, what is it? It's a treatment range which is almost like made to reset the hair. Hair that is what I call compromised. It's had lots of color treatments, chemical treatments, etc. Not only moisture style, but it's also the structure of the hair as well. It's almost like rebonding that hair back together. So the shampoo and conditioner, the shampoo has a really great benefits of calming head scalps down because of the exfoliation, the properties in the oatmeal in there that it really will take, sort of like exfoliate the scalp. People with like what I call a mild dose of psoriasis or maybe dandruff, that hasn't been known to help that out. But then for me, the baby in this, the treatment is exceptional. 5 to 10 minutes on the hair as a restructurant, fantastic. It really does help bind the hair back together. But you will notice this as soon as you put it on the hair, when you comb it through, it instantly makes the hair feel different. And you've got a great high shine factor to it as well. So hair that's what I call heavily compromised, I think that's definitely a go-to one to have in your kit. You can use it with heat. You can, if you want to actually sort of make it into more of a luxurious treatment. I personally like to wrap a hot towel around the head and just let it soak. I think we've got another question coming in there, Mike. If you want to help me out with that.
Yeah. What are the treatment benefits between U Luxury and the Reunite one?
Well, U Luxury is a shampoo and conditioner, so you've got cleanser and moisturizer. It's not designed specifically as there as a regenerative properties. You've got hair, most people's hair now is being colored or chemically treated. So what that happens is you say it becomes, you've got lots of heat tools being on there. You're not going to complete the reparative properties of on hair just using a shampoo and conditioner. You need something that's a little bit more intensive. U Luxury is for someone who wants that sort of luxurious feel out of a shampoo and conditioner that has a richness to it, and the hair needs that benefit from using something that maybe feels slightly heavier than, say, a 7 seconds. Once again, curly hair, I think, really benefits from this because the hair is starved. But you've got to think Reunite is to restore what I call compromised hair, hair that is stressed, been overcolored too much, it's lost the elasticity. So what you'll find, elasticity test, when you wash this, you can see the actual hair stretch, almost like a bungee rope. You want to put some of this back in there. It helps to rebond it, and also it's a restructurant. We'll actually put that the strengthening back in there. The antioxidants, etc., will help to rebond the hair back together to take it back to where it was pre-color. Much more of a treatment range. U Luxury, once again, shampoo and conditioner for someone who wants a luxurious feel. Then we come into some specialty products. I'm going to just pop in there the Weekender shampoo. Now, this is our clarifying shampoo. Doesn't make the hair squeaky clean. We never want that hair to have that, you know, feel or sound when it comes out of the shower. It's not a good thing. So this does not strip out all the oils from the hair, but it's a great clarifier to remove product buildup. And also, just like the stressed hair of using the same shampoo, maybe on a weekly basis, your hair can become accustomed to it. So the good thing about this clarifying shampoo, it's got a protein extract in there. So it gives you a protein shot. You can leave it on for 5 minutes, give your hair a protein kick. Does not make the hair structure weaker or brittle, which some proteins can do, so don't worry about that. Leave it on there for 5 minutes. It's great if you're doing pre-color treatment as well, if you want to clarify the hair before doing like semi-permanent colors, etc. Put some of this on there to strengthen it, clarify it out. If there's a little bonus one for you ladies, it's really good at cleaning makeup brushes. I didn't find that out myself. I've just been told that one for years. It's a really good one for that. That's our Weekender clarifying shampoo. Then we come into one that does have a natural sulfate in there. Obviously, it's called Beach Day. So it's a texturizing spray. It's a hybrid, can be used on wet or dry. So take it to the beach, spray it on, put your hair in a braid, go in the sea, come out, and you're going to find you're going to have a really nice, firm, but not too hard, like starchy feel to this. It's got that natural sort of like lived-in look to it, but once again, it's not too harsh on the hair. But do remember it has a natural sulfate in there. So if you do have maybe a keratin treatment, it could be slightly non-beneficial to it, we will say. Here's one of my favorites. Here's Smooth and Shine. Use a lot of this in the backstage fashion weeks. So self-explanatory is to smooth and put shine in the hair. It's hugely concentrated. That's why we don't have to necessarily give you a lot. Size-wise of this, I'm only going to use like what I call like a dime size on average head of hair. I might go up to a quarter, but that's because I will layer it in. I wouldn't use it too much. It's got argan oil in there. So it's extremely rich. The beauty of this, works beautifully on curly hair as well, actually. There's also a couple of other little tricks you can do, even accepts hairspray over the top for like wet looks. It's incredible. So the best thing I've ever used this on, heavily compromised hair, especially bleached hair. Now, bleached hair, when you've done it, or pre-lightened hair, has the tendency to always have a tug in there when you're blow drying it, purely because the moisture content of the hair holds the water for so long, and it dries out at different rates. So your brush doesn't go through it on a uniform rate, it doesn't come through it smoothly. Put some of this in there, and it just like nullifies all of that. Your brush rides through it, but does not destroy volume. It's got a great way of controlling heavily compromised hair. Beautiful product. Now the question's coming in thick and fast.
Yep, going back to Beach Day for a moment, does it leave the hair crunchy?
No, I did say that. It does not leave a cardboard feel. It's not starchy. It's got a much softer vibe to it.
And then what are the differences in using Smooth and Shine, Blow and Set, and the 7 seconds blowout cream?
7 seconds blowout cream, I said to you before, just leaves your hair in what I call like a cotton type feel, like a brushed cotton. Smooth and Shine, and what was the other comparison one?
Blow and Set and Smooth and Shine.
Well, Blow and Set is a setting lotion. Okay, so it's designed to put volume in the hair. You're using rollers, leaving a brush in there. It's got a nice shine factor, but it's a different type of animal. Okay, this, as I said before, it's great on what I call on compromised hair. You can use it on hair that hasn't got any color in there, but because it's much more concentrated, you're getting a different effect. This is going to create that silky, smooth, straight hair. Blow and Set, it's got volume in there. So if you want volume, you want a bit of shine, slightly different. Okay, we never want to do the same products or different products and all do the same thing. So Smooth and Shine, think silk. Blow and Set, think flowing curtains, blowing around in the wind, plenty of shine. And then Blowout cream, think your summer dress, brushed cotton, moving around. Fabulous. Hope that clears that one up. Good to hear the questions. Okay, one of my little favorites, liquid volume, can be used on wet or dry hair, but specifically I love to use this on dry hair. What's the application of this? What is it? So it's in a small bottle, it's heavily concentrated. Application wise, I'm going to lift the hair up, dust it, 2-3 squirts in there. It dries off 15-20 seconds. Now the application of this, I stand through here, I've seen girls forever, for centuries, always putting hairspray in their hair and just scrunching the hair up like this to hold it. The beauty of liquid volume, it has this great memory, but it just makes the hair pop, as you can see through here. It's just a great liquid volumizer. Put the hair in, tease it back, just have a little bit more volume. It's that dusting effect. Got a great memory to it. You can brush it, but it stays in the hair, lasts a long time. It's in a small bottle. It's concentrated, so it's quite strong. I'm going to pull out the 3 volumizers to show you comparisons a bit later. But liquid volume is that's how I'll use it on long hair. It's that dusting motion, and then just literally just scrunch it in, play around with it. Short hair, if you want to use it on wet, I'm not going to use this on long hair wet, but on short hair, pompadours, etc., just a small amount, really finger dry that in, and then just blast it through, you've got volume. If you really want to use it on longer hair, because if the hair's fine, I will come and use this on the root base when it's damp, and then just finger dry the hair at the root base, so I'm not destroying the volume, and then I would come and use a brush on the rest of it. Okay, so just go very, very lightly with it. Do not go roots to ends when it's wet. It's not advisable. You're just going to find more work for yourself. But good thing is, if you did do that, because you always got to know there's got to be a get out clause anywhere. Simple. Just come straight in with some argan oil, U oil, and one of our #1 favorites, extremely lightweight. Most oils you will see they lay on the surface forever. This just dissipates, as you'll see. If you ever get the stylist to put some on the hands, just try it in. It just dissipates into the skin really, really easily. Fantastic. So lightweight argan oil can be used on wet or dry. Multiple uses, smoothing the hair down. Use it as a blow drying aid. Use it as a finishing product. Just use it as a glossing aid. It's in there purely because people like to use the oils. You don't have to use loads and loads of it. Very, very simple, easy to use. Just check on those questions for me there, Mike. I don't know if there's any more come on. Got one of the pucks. Conundrum paste. What is conundrum paste? Conundrum is itself a conundrum. So this is a waxy type paste, beeswax in there. Application wise, use a fingernail, just scrape some out. How do I use it? Multiple different ways. That's why it's in a hybrid. If I want to use a sleek look, I've got shorter hair. If you go into our product knowledge videos, you'll see me on there using it on some finger waves, on a bob, holds it in beautifully. You can use a little bit of hairspray over the top, not a problem. If I want to use it on dry hair, I'm going to use it more like a control paste on longer for defining pieces on through here. Really, really good for picking out pieces. And if I want to put texture in the hair, no problem. Just shoe shine it in, or maybe on textured hair, you know, sort of like what we're seeing with hair being moved around a little bit at the moment, especially mullets have made a little bit of a comeback. So something like that is going to be a great product. It's basically you design bespoke it for the client how you want to use it. And that's why we call it a conundrum. There is just so many multiple uses for it. But as I say, sleek for when it's wet, so it'll have a little more like a wet look to it. When it goes in dry, it acts like a dry texture paste. Really, really great multi-purpose product. Saves us having to bring out loads of different styling packs. As you say, that can be in a styling range. Once again, I want to go back. Creamy paste, although it's in a puck. Black lettering designed to be blow dried in, so don't forget that. You can pick up all these hints and tips on our PK on Unite Hair TV on unitehair.com. on there. So if you feel this is sort of overwhelming, if you're new to the brand, do not worry, go back in there, watch it at your leisure. It's really easy to follow. It just gives you the key ingredients, all the features and benefits of each product very, very quickly, and shows it being used on hair as well. So once again, taking out that fear element of the stylist for using the product in the salon, very important. Sitting next to those, we have some favorites. We have Booster shampoo conditioner. What is Booster? Self-explanatory. Got the pink lettering on there. It's our volumizing range. Booster being volume. We're going to give the hair a boost. Once again, same properties as the other shampoos, conditioners. Is designed to plump the hair up, give it volume. We have our #1 volumizing spray in that range, designed to go in wet hair. I do use this separately on dry, but I'm not going to do it on a PK class. You have to come to Runway Ready to see how I use this. Booster volumizing spray, designed to go in wet hair. It's got a beautiful coconut fragrance. Liberally spray, roots to ends, layer it in, dry it off roughly with a hairdryer. Come back in, put some more on, blast it in again. Then if you feel like you want massive volume, put it in a third time, really put the brush in and go for it. I love layering this in. Don't try and saturate the hair all in one go. Build it up gradually. That's how I'm going to use it on fine hair. On thicker hair that still wants control but needs a bit of volume, dust it all through the root base. Bit of laser straight, smooth and shine, mid-lengths and ends all the way through. So just because your hair's thick doesn't think you can't use Booster volumizing. Sometimes it needs a little kick in the root base. Then we have this one, very, very unique, Booster thickening cream. Now, the thing with most volumizers, they always have what I call like a tacky feel to them. All right, you always feel like if you've got something, you spray it on your hands, you have a feel, you always think, oh, volumizing, you can feel it. You can feel your hands sort of grip together. With this, it's a cream. Got a gorgeous fragrance, dissipates super easily. And how we've designed this is that it goes in the hair and locks moisture in, like locks water in, so it keeps the hair plumped up, almost thickens the individual shaft. Come in. I always like to sort of really apply it all on through the root base first and then drag it through. If you've got fine hair, I really do recommend trying this. Because there's no tackiness to it, it's extremely easy to blow dry and very, very different for a volumizer because it feels actually soft once you blow dried it, but your hair's got volume. Works beautifully on people with short hair, guys with short hair, fine hair. But little bonus, once again, I find curly hair that's really fine, you know, the hair's got like, you know, what I call fragile curls, putting that in the root base, using blowing over the top, boom, perfection, amazing, really, really good. That's covered a lot of our styling so far. Then we're going to come into, I'm going to jump on here, I'm going to jump into the finishing side before I come into what I call a speciality and one of our newer products. So finishing range, I'm going to come back into 2 texturizers quickly, so I want to come back in to show you another product.
Before you get into that, we've got a question about Booster. How would you recommend layering the Booster spray and the Booster thickening cream?
Okay, just go over what I said. Booster spray. You're playing catch up with me. I spray it in. I blast the hair off. I come back in again. Put another layer in. I give it another little blast in the root base because that way I'm not taking volume out by blow drying it in with a brush. come back in maybe even a third time if I so wish, when I know I'm going to do some brush work, but I'm going to do that on the mid-lengths and ends because I'm always using this. I'm not going to saturate the hair with a product. I'm going to build it up slowly. Booster volumizing cream. It's simple. Put it onto through my hands, rub it into the root base and just drag it through like a claw. That's more than enough how I need to plump the hair up. I think this is more a one-hit application. I just love using booster spray as a multiple use, multiple layering product. That's the difference between the two. They must have run away and gone to the toilet and restroom and not heard me come in with that one. It's not a problem. I love repeating myself. I do it all day. Okay, texturizing products. What have we got? We have our favorite texture spray. Okay, this is a natural silica, being like sand. It has the little twist cap. You can spray it all over the place. Great on the ozone, great on my hair, great on her hair, great on the dog's hair down there. Not a problem. But self-explanatory, it's multiple uses. You come in, you build your style up, build your texture up, but it's got a beautiful way of being workable. And what I find is, you know, application-wise, it's those short spurts as opposed to coming in and trying to blast it all in one go. That is our, what I call our everyday texturizer. It's great, add some heat protection in the hair. You can use an iron over the top of this. It's really, really good for that as well, because it's brushable. So in comparison to the texturizers, because we also have expander dust. Now, this is what I call the daddy of texturizing, the most volumizing product we have in the range. You'll buy this, or your client will buy it off you, and they'll think they've been shortchanged. There's nothing in it, they'll say. There is. It's just one of those ultra-fine powders. It's not full of water. I tap it onto the hair. You can either be a tapper, put it into your root base, or you can be a puffer. Blast it from distance, and then put the hairdryer in. You'll be able to see the amazing amount of volume and curl we will get on this. She's going to need some laser straight on that afterwards, isn't she? Can calm her hair down. That is what I call the ultimate texturizer and volumizing product in our range. Extremely lightweight. You're going to feel like you've got nothing in it, but extremely strong. How does that sit in comparison to the other texturizers and volumizers? So how I like to put them in there. Texturizing spray is the most workable and easy to use and the most fun. Liquid volume sits in the middle. It's got more strength than texturizer, has a different feel to it as well. There's one little tip I'm going to give you about that as well after I finish this. And then you have expander dust for that hair that's going to give you the ultimate plump and volume for that night out, etc. But they've also got some great little uses. Putting something here on fine hair, expander dust in there and doing a braid gives you amazing texture and plumpness to it. But also people who love to put hair up, bridal hair, etc. You can have Asian hair is what I call like it's got like a glass finish. Okay, it almost has that slip. Okay, so imagine this is the hair and we're dealing with it. It slides across one another, does not like holding pins. How do we control that? How do we change that? Simple. If you've got a mini crimper, it's really great to use that, but putting this on there, liquid volume, instantly gives your hair grip. Okay, so it changes, liquid volume changes your hair from silk to suede. Okay, so silky, you got suede, liquid volume will do that. All the texturizing volumes will do that, but because liquid volume I just find is the one that's most workable and takes away that problematic hair. So that's how all those volumizers sit. In between those, we have a really unique one, Texturizer finishing foam. What is that? How can you have a foam that texturizes? Simple, application-wise. Give it a damn good shake. I'm only going to use a small amount. So I recommend clients to do this. Apply it on your hands. Now it suddenly turns to very sort of like powdery feel, like almost like a chalky feel very, very quickly. I know it's got a little bit white on there on my hand, but don't be worried about that. I would come along and then I would just literally just place that in the hair and just pull out areas for texture and definition. Me personally, as a hairdresser, I love to come in root base, really rub that right the way in, really build that hair up because it's pliable. It's got a great way of plumping the hair up, but it just feels like a different type of fabric. Once again, you're turning the hair into a different fabric that you can work with, make it really easily moldable. Extra benefit when, say, once you're putting hair up again, hair's got a little bit of slip to it. Put some of that in if you want to do some sort of like textured bridal style. Excellent, perfect, really, really good uses. Great fun product to play with. That is really sort of like low on the radar of uses. As I say, it's very, very different, but we love giving you something different. Then we have Second Day in one of the styling pucks. Self-explanatory this. It's a really smooth cream. Scrape some out, apply through the hair. Yes, I have used this on damp hair, but it's more of a finishing cream. What does it do? It gives your hair a second day lived-in feel. Some people just love their hair the day after they've washed it and they've slept on it. It just is more moldable and it separates more. Well, if you've washed your hair and it just feels too clean or etc., which is it's going to happen. Second day will give you that. You'll feel it feels a bit greasy, but trust me, as I put it in the hair, excuse me, it just dries out and becomes much more of a satin matte type of feel to it. But it's just great for separation, good for braiding as well, putting a little bit of that on the back of your hand and just picking up pieces occasionally just to help you just sort of control the hair. But say, once again, self-explanatory styling cream, real favorite. Now I have 3 hairsprays. We have 4 in the range, but I've got 3 here to show initially. I picked them all up, all in one. Go 365, Max Control and Session Max. What's the difference between them all? Let's go first on Go 365, lightweight, workable, brushable hairspray, heat protection, etc. Has this unique cap on there. Okay, you move it and it's got L, M, and H, which means low, medium, and high. You just move that cap depending on how much propellant and hairspray you wish to have out of the can. There's not 3 different hairsprays in there. There's not 3 different tubes, whatever. It's just the same hairspray, same can, but it's just movable. Just gives you a different change in propellant. Really workable. You can build up a huge amount of that hairspray. Never compromises the hair. Max Control, different cap. It has a stronger white cap on there. No, it doesn't. It's not universal. It doesn't change at all. But this is what I call more like a client's everyday favorite type of hairspray. When they want to use at home because it has a little bit more of a stronger hold to it, but still workable, like Go 365. And then we have Session Max. Session Max is defined by the black top on here. What is Session Max? Well, obviously, it used to be backstage. We use it Fashion Week, etc., like all the hairsprays. But this is what I call your one-hit wonder. I always said, people would have heard this joke many a time if you listen to me doing this one. This is one that goes on the bride. You spray it in there. It freezes that hair in. The hair's not going to move. You're living in Oklahoma. You're going to be Tornado Alley. You're absolutely fine. In Texas, wind's not going to touch it. You put Session Max in there. You can get married. You can go on honeymoon. You can come back. You can have your 3 kids. You can get divorced. Go and see the attorney. Your hair hasn't moved because you've got Session Max in there. It's an amazing hairspray. Sitting next to those 3, we have our newest one, born on the catwalk, is RePlay in this beautiful gold can, black lid. This has got an amazing fragrance, a lightweight spray. It's got an amazing workability to this, brushable, and just the amount you can use on this. Go to the old website, watch me work on this on a head of hair. Fantastic. We're going to be using a lot of that come September. So you've got lots of choices in hairsprays. Why have you got so many? Because we're dealing with so many different hair types and people have so many different needs from a hairspray. One little way of you're thinking of going back to the texturizers, relate to these, think of Go 365, a bit like texture spray. Max Control hairspray, I think liquid volume. Session Max, I think expanded dust. That's how I always look at those in comparison to strength-wise. Okay, that's the majority of our styling products done through here. I want to bring you into a brand new product that we brought out this year. Freaked people out. It's called Silky Smooth. What is it? We've got Smooth and Shine. Why do we need Silky Smooth? Silky Smooth is a treatment smoothing system that is designed to not only give you a finish of a blow dry, but last you like a whole week, but it controls that sort of like hard to control hair that has a tendency to sort of explode with humidity, etc. Now, the thing with this is a system, so you use it in conjunction with shampoo, conditioner, and the treatment. Can you use them individually? Yes, you can. Will they work just as well? No, they won't. So you have to use them generally all together. There's multiple different uses of it. As I say, we've got all those frequently asked questions on the website, and I could do a whole class on that separately. So the shampoo protects and locks moisture in. It's got a detangling part in there, and all of the products have got this product in there called Seal Soft, CLX-E. Seal Soft is in design in there. It actually seals on the conditioner and flattens and smoothens it out. You've got sunflower seeds in there as well. You've got UV protection. You've got vegetable protein as well that helps you strengthen the actual hair, all in that product line. But you also got in the actual sealant, you've got macadamia, which helps detangle us, and you've got this beautiful odorless oil. Now, the actual heat activated sealant is the actual difference in all these products. After you've shampooed, conditioned the hair, you blot the hair dry. Do not rub it. You only got to squeeze it and blot it. You're going to find the hair's reasonably easy to comb through, but you're going to want to put some of the sealant on, comb that through, and then I come back in, taking roughly 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch sections, just a little bit more sealant, and I come in with a hot iron, and I tap it in the hair to introduce the iron to the hair, and I work all the way through with the hot iron. That's its most, what I call, premium level of application. Yes, you can blow dry in the hair. Will you get the benefits? Yes, you will. But I just found that using a hot iron on there gives us the longest and most desirable finish over a longer period of time. And it lasts in there for about 3 to 4 washes. Need to go into that one a lot more in depth. Go to our video systems. You will see us hit on the classes all about that. It's a great product. Anyone who's got problematic hair, tell me you use it, and then go online, look on our social media posts. You see people have been using it in salons, and the reviews of them using it is, say, groundbreaking, amazing product. Now, let's go into how we're doing for time, Mike, as well.
15 minutes left.
Oh, fantastic. You've got 15 minutes left of me, people, if you so wish. I'm sure you're just hanging in there. Blonder, down through here, designed, easily recognizable because of the purple packaging. Blonder is our range designed for blondes, most obviously. Starts off with a shampoo and conditioner. So I did mention that one of the shampoos has a sulfate in there, sodium chloride. This is the Blonder shampoo. Why does it do that? Because we have to open the cuticle to actually distribute that toning shampoo in the hair. I'll open up the cap. You'll see through here how strong that purple tone is. Obviously, we know that purple nullifies yellow warm tones in the hair. Can it be just used on blondes? I've used it on brunettes that are a bit too warm, and use it on grey hair as well. There's a bit of dullness to it. It's amazing for making grey hair look really shiny. But our main use is for blonde hair. So it has toning properties in this shampoo. Probably the strongest out of all the products in that range is the shampoo. The only side effect of it, yes, it will make your hair feel slightly coarser than maybe normal, purely because we've opened up that cuticle. Never mind, we've got the Blonder conditioner to go in there afterwards to even out pH values, smooth the hair cuticle down. Now the Blonder conditioner has actually got a purple tone to it as well, but does not have any toning properties. Got the same great fragrance. I feel like I'm in a French vineyard when I'm smelling this. Lucky I don't drink. So same fragrance, but no toning properties to the conditioner. Exactly like the Blonder Daily Shampoo. Why do we have a Blonder Daily Shampoo? It doesn't have any purple, if I don't spill any of that. It's a clearer shampoo, but it helps the vitality of your blondes stay nice and clean, puts moisture in there, etc. Because you don't want to necessarily tone your hair every time you wash it. So we've developed a Blonder shampoo, daily shampoo, to be used in conjunction with your Blonder toner. So for non-toning days, Blonder daily. For toning days, Blonder toning shampoo, conditioner, good to go. Argument's sake, you've had your hair bleached for a long time, your hair's been compromised a little bit. We then do Blonder Fix. Now this is a restructurant. We have two. We have a Blonder Fix Pro, which is in sachets, 1 to 2 applications average per head. And we have a Blonder Fix, which is your retail size to take home. This is slightly more concentrated than that one. So in terms of toning, I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3 from the top. Look at the camera work. She's been in Hollywood. She's been training all week for this camera. The zoom and look stuff is amazing at the moment. Better than anything else we normally have. So we have, don't forget, Blonder Shampoo has got the most amount of tone properties. The Blonder Fix Pro has the second. And then the Blonder Fix Retail has the least amount. It hasn't got any. It's got the least amount in comparison to the other two. Okay. So the restructurant, 5–10 minutes on the hair. Yes, you could use it in conjunction with heat, but it's an amazing restructurant. I would always want to have some of this available when I'm doing any sort of blonde work, purely because of what you're doing with pre-lightener. You're stressing the hair, you're adding that sort of elasticity, etc. When it's wet, put some of that back on there. Just watch it. Tonal. The tone is it's a massive help, purely because it can tone and seal the hair at the same time. Makes the hair feel amazing. So a very, very unique product. And then we have our own special blonder oil. Why do we have a blonder oil when we've already got the argan oil? We just find the blondes wanted something, maybe a slight, option, as it were. There's no toning properties in that, even though it's in the purple bottle, just to make sure you can recognize it. But it has much more of what I call like a different, slightly different feel to it, maybe a bit lighter, and just sort of softer in the hair of how it feels. So and we've developed just a special blonder oil for the blondes on that. Once again, grey hair as well, excellent. Coming near the finish of the range, we've got a root touch-up we brought out this year. We've got 4 of these. Just make sure I'm going to put them all out in the correct order. The 3 main colours are dark brown, we have medium brown, and then we have a light brown. Don't think we need a blonde, because blondes will not suffer so much with the root touch-up. Easiest way to describe these, give them a good shake. Application-wise, I'm going to hold these a few inches away from the scalp and a sweeping motion when I apply them. I don't stand there and blast it all in one spot. I just sweep it and build the colour up. I'll even layer them over the top. From a technical standpoint, the dark brown gives me a shade coverage of roughly shades 2 to 4 in depth. The medium brown takes me from 4 to 6, and then the light brown takes me from 7 and below. So you've covered your bases there. And then we do a nice little Billy bonus. We have the Auburn, which is for your redheads, lives in the area of around a 6 base, which is, covers a lot of the actual reds out there in the world as well. So that's our root touch-up, very easy to use. Clients will love that. Handbag size, no one's ever got to know the young lady colours the hair. Final one of the day, let's have a look at our dry shampoos. Another new product we brought out in amongst these testing times of COVID, but we've got 3. So why did we bring out 3? So the first one, U Dry Clear, is your everyday dry shampoo, okay? Give this a little shake. You can hear the ball bearing in there. You want to hear the ball bearing move, because that is going to aggravate the propellant and the cleansing powder inside. Application-wise, very easy to use. Me personally, when I use dry shampoos, I love to put them near the root base. I even layer them in. I love to use a cold hairdryer and a brush and blow them in as well, just to help me lift the hair up. You don't need to. A lot of people just like to use a dry shampoo, put it in, just aggravate it, perfectly fine. But I always find if I use a bit of this, layer it in, come in with a hairdryer, put it in, it really makes the hair bounce up. So that's your everyday dry shampoo. You have then U-Dry Plus, which is for hair that's maybe gone like a couple of days extra, or what I like to call, for you ladies who are always living in your yoga pants these days, from gin to drinks. You've gone and had your yoga class, you don't have time to wash your hair, get the U-Dry Plus out, baby, and come on. Let's get in there. It's more of a heavier duty dry shampoo. Got the ball bearing in there once again, but you can see propellant. It's just got a little bit more oomph and a bit more guts to it. Has greater propensities to drying out the oil base. Really, really good. The U-Dry Plus 2-3 day type dry shampoo. Then you have a U-Dry High, which has got a combination of adding volume to the hair, but also cleansing the hair as well. This does not have the ball bearing, it just has a different colour ombre, just like the other two in there. And a nice little side fact, we're bringing these out in handbag sizes as well. So no ball bearing, but the thing with this is it's got a slight volumizing properties to it. So if you've got fine hair or hair that's like, you know, had a little bit more of like what you call like a heavier sebum production, finally going to dry this out, you are going to get a lovely texturizing feel to this as well. Okay, so that's the difference between our dry shampoos. I hope that's my sort of what I call like the gloss over of all the range. I hope you found some of that interesting. As I say, please carry on, go back to unitedhair.com, you can find us on United Hair TV. We go into these in much more depth, and they're a bit more entertaining than sitting there listening to me waffle on all day about products in front of you, like a wallpaper salesman. I know, about as exciting as cardboard. So a few little things I want to give you. Follow us, make sure you follow us on Instagram on Unite Hair TV, which is at Unite_Hair TV. The next live I'm bringing to you is going to be Summer for Texture, all about texturizing those summer looks. That's on June the 21st at 10 AM, same time again, kicking me out of bed early. And remember to sign up in advance. The lives are recorded. You can access them again if you really want to hear me repeat myself in the live replay on Unite Hair TV. And questions you've got about anything, any requests you want to see, email unitetv@unitehair.com. Thank you once again for listening to me waffle on this morning. It's been a great one bringing to you the range, and I will see you again in 2 weeks.